la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you all. I hope you've had a good week. Hope it has been a festive week. Hope you've had a beautiful and lovely Thanksgiving. Are there some sound issues right now? Are there some sound issues? Okay, good. I thought there might have been some issues going on. I wasn't sure if you can hear us okay. Just let me know. And by the way, there you are. I see all of you commenting. I am so excited to welcome my son Nathan back. He's been at school in Washington, D.C. at American University. And I'm so grateful that he is here. We are happy that he's here for Thanksgiving. And today he said, Dad, may I play guitar with you tonight? It went something like that, right?
Yeah.
At Acoustic
absolutely.
Shabbat. I said, of course, we would love to have you.
I think it went exactly like that.
It went exactly like that. So here he is, and we are glad to be here. We are glad to see you. Remember, those of you that are watching, this is streamed in a bunch of different ways to a bunch of different places on Facebook. So feel free to comment, but please understand I don't see necessarily all of the comments, but this is our week of Thanksgiving. So throughout our time together, feel free to add a comment about something for which you are grateful, something for which you are thankful, because we have developed a kind of community, a virtual community during our Shabbat celebrations. So as we light our Shabbat candles tonight, if you have the song sheet, this is song number 2. We're on page 1. Feel free to download or open in another screen. And see, they're happy to see you, Nathan. And follow along. This is our candle lighting blessing, especially this week, thinking about how we bring light into our lives and how we, at the same time, give light to others. So now we light our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. And now we sing Hatov. This is song number 5, a song that we have been singing for a few weeks together. It's one of my favorites. The first word in this song is Hatov, which literally means good. We're referring to God who is all good. And we're talking about God's mercy and God's compassion and God's kindness. All these qualities that we are thankful for, especially during this week of Thanksgiving. Hatov. Hatov ki lo chalura chamecho behamerachem ki lo tawalucha sadecha Ki me'olam, ki me'olam, ki v'inu lach. 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 I am so glad you're here, Nathan.
Oh, thank you.
So we continue with Shalom Aleichem, and this is found on your song sheet. It is song number 7, and this is the Dylan version of Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashamayim. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Amlachi HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom. Tzeidchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom. Tzeidchem leShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeidchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom. Tzeidchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom. Tzeidchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom. We now continue with L'Chadodi. This is on page 2, and this is song number 9. About our greeting the Shabbat Queen, Shabbat HaMalkah. Thank you. I am feeling the same exact way, even more special because Nathan is here.
I just make things more special.
Yes, you do, Nathan. Shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simchot tala, toch emunei am segula, bo wichala, lecha dodi likrai kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela, 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 b'nei Shabbat kabela. We're having so much fun. I'm so glad that you were here to share in the fun and the nachas and the joy. So now, my friends, we think about all of the joy in our lives, the simchas and the celebrations, the milestones. Please feel free in the comment box, something especially this week for which you are grateful. Something this week for which you are thankful. This is our week of gratitude. It's our week to say todah, to say thank you. Thank you to God. Thank you to each other. Thank you to community. Thank you to our family. So wherever you're watching this, however you're watching this, whether it be on YouTube or one of the Facebook channels, feel free to just comment and share something good that's happened in your life this week, or maybe the week before, or maybe the past few months. This is our week to really express our appreciation, our deep gratitude. Anything that you'd like to share, Nathan? Anything good? What's happening in your life?
So last night we celebrated Thanksgiving at a very safe distance in my grandparents' driveway.
We sure did.
And it was such great food, and it was so great seeing them.
Yes, that was fun. We went to my parents' house, Nathan's grandparents' house, in the Toco Hills area, and we ate safely, distanced in their carport. And we also then came home and were able to Zoom with the other side of the family, with Lori's side of the family, and we had the opportunity to chat and talk to all of our cousins. It was a wonderful night. And Mom, if you're watching, Nathan consumed all of the leftovers before 4 p.m. today.
That's true.
Yeah, the leftover turkey that I was counting on for dinner is gone. So maybe next year.
I think pumpkin pie should be universally accepted as a breakfast food year round.
I agree. The pumpkin pie was also consumed early this morning, so very nice. I'm seeing your comments. Beautiful. Nice. Good. I love it. Good things are happening. A lot to be thankful for. And I know that some of you who are watching now, I saw your food postings on Facebook. I saw your amazing meal. Beautiful. I love it. So now we take a deep breath in as we welcome. The volume is low. Thank you, Eva. The volume is low. Let me turn the microphone a little bit higher. Is that any better, Eva? Is it still low? Let me know. I just turned it a little bit higher. I can even go higher. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Is it still low?
I could skip it too.
Okay, so everybody now take a deep breath in as we welcome the soul, the spirit, the neshama of Shabbat. We exhale as we say goodbye to the past week. Let me know if that got it a little better. I can go higher. Even maybe, have you thought that maybe it could be your... Mizmor Shir. We are song number 10. Mizmor Shir, Shir Leyom HaShabbat. 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 The whole world is waiting to sing the song of Shabbat. The whole world is waiting to sing the song of Shabbat. Mizmor Shir, Shir Leyom HaShabbat. 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 We are also waiting to sing the song of Shabbat. We are also waiting to sing the song of Shabbat. Mizmor Shir, Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir, Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
Usually you go up there. Usually
I did. I didn't want to.
You surprised me. I was expecting that. I was getting ready, and
Then I did not.
you didn't.
The okay, so sound is better. Let's take his collar off. Sound is a little better. Okay, good. Okay.
And that little whining noise you hear in the background is our very cute dog.
He's our very cute dog. Our dog gets very excited about Acoustic Shabbat. He missed having you here.
I'm sure he did.
So we continue with the Baruch Hu, number 11. Is our call to worship. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai, lai. Vaed Leolam Vaed Ya la 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 ya 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 la 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 ya la la la. We continue with the Shema. Open up our eyes. Number 12. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name. We will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name. We will know that you are one. We will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. You know, it's funny because last week I was saying that maybe we'd be together for Shabbat this week. I wasn't sure. It was Thanksgiving. But I want you to know that it is so meaningful for me to be with you, that I really look forward to this. And I looked at Lori this week and we thought to ourselves, why would we want to miss? We love doing this so very much. And so that's why I'm here, because I really love being with you and celebrating Shabbat together. Although we're not in person, although it be virtually, digitally, I feel very, very connected. So keep chatting away. We continue as we think about those who are in need of healing, those who are in need of prayers for recovery, as we say our Mishaberach prayer. Mishaberach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, V'Yakov, Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu Yavarech et HaCholim Ha'ela. May God bless our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Becca, Rachel, and Leah. Send blessing and healing to Mark Funk, Charles Sadloff, Patty Early, Joan Crafton, Josh Esch, Deborah Goldman, Hermina Levy, Stuart Martyr, Arlene Mix, Larry Love, Greta Rubenstein, Alita Frechtman, Rachel Devorah Strauss, Lisa Lewis, Eliana Glusman, David Markwell, Joe Gray, Debbie Jacoby, Linda Block, Michael Luber, Michelle Quesnel, David Vazana, Dr. Al and Kim Eaton, and Maria Rubenstein. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yamalei Rachamim Alehem Lachzigam L'Arpotam. May God grant them a complete recovery. Rufuat Nefesh, Rufuat Aguf, a healing of body, a healing of spirit, together with all others who are ill. And let us say, Amen. As we continue with Misha Berach, back to the song sheet. Number 16. Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mikor habracha bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. So I was thinking about this week of Thanksgiving and thinking about how the Jewish calendar, the Hebrew calendar, and the secular calendar always seem to sort of make sense together, that it's no coincidence the way in which our two calendars are in sync, especially during this season of Thanksgiving. This in Hebrew is called Chag HaHoda'ah, which literally means the festival, the holiday of being thankful. In Hebrew, the word for thank you is todah. We use the word todah frequently. Even people that don't know much Hebrew still know the word todah. Someone gives us a gift, we say todah. And then the common response is bevakasha, you're welcome. So this is the holiday of thankfulness. This is the holiday during which we are grateful. So in this week's Torah portion, we read about Jacob, and we also read about Jacob's offspring. Jacob first marries Rachel. His father-in-law Laban switches the brides, and then ultimately he really marries Leah. He wanted to marry Rachel. Ultimately he does marry Rachel, but he has a number of kids. Of course, Jacob is the father, if you will, of the 12 tribes. But one of his kids is named Jacob's kids is named Yehuda, Judah. The name Judah we're all familiar with. Hanukkah is coming up, Judah, the Maccabee. But the word itself, Judah, one of Jacob's kids, actually comes from the same word as Todah. In other words, the name Judah means to be thankful, because ultimately Leah was thankful that she was able to have a child. So his name becomes Yehudah, to be thankful, which is so amazing. It really means that we are all people that should always be thankful. We are Yehudim. We are named after Judah. So it really means that we're supposed to be operating at all times in a zone of thankfulness. We should always be operating with a sense of gratitude. We're familiar with Psalms. We know the Psalm, Hodu Ladonai Ki Tov, give thanks to God. Hodu is another classic word in Hebrew, in Psalmic Hebrew, that means thank you. Hodu Ladonai Ki Tov, give thanks to God. In Hebrew, Hodu is also a turkey. So isn't that interesting that the Hebrew word for turkey, Hodu, also means to be thankful? Someone can Google this and see if there's any coincidence there or if it was even intentional. Maybe it was. But I was reading about this man. He wrote a book. His book is called 365 Thank Yous. It's called The Year A Simple Act of Daily Gratitude Changed My Life. John Kralik is the author's name. So John Kralik was in a really bad place. His life was a disaster. He was miserable. He was broke. He was overweight. He was in the midst of his second divorce. He was struggling at work. He was living in LA in an apartment, in a dump apartment with no air conditioning. He was an attorney and he couldn't afford to pay his employees a Christmas bonus because his clients weren't paying their bills on time, and sometimes he didn't pay his employees at all. Kralik says our natural tendency is to notice the 9 bad things that happen to us each day. But instead, Kralik asks, what if we focused, instead of those 9 bad things, what if we focused on one good thing? So he decided that he would give this a try. And he decided that he was going to write one thank you note each and every day for the entire year, for 365 days. 365 days of thank you notes. And he decided that this wasn't happening digitally or virtually. He was physically writing 365 thank yous, one a day. He wanted to find a reason to be thankful and grateful every single day. Incredibly enough, there were things right under his nose to be thankful for, and he didn't even notice. So a few years later, someone decided to follow up with Kralik to see how it had gone. What was the feedback like? Was it successful? Were the responses as he intended? So it so happens that after these 365 days of writing thank yous, he had continued to write thank yous because the response was so powerful. He had written and received over 2,000 thank you notes. John said that writing the thank you notes over the course of the year taught him to value the good things. Gratitude presses outwards, which creates good feelings in the universe, a lot that comes back to us eventually. When we send it out there, it returns to us even tenfold. You know, being grateful is not just perfunctory. It's not just saying the words thank you. I know that, we ingrain this in our kids. Our parents did the same to us. We always said thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, please, thank you, please, may I, thank you. It's not just about saying those words. It really becomes a way of life. And I think that saying those words conditions us to be grateful. It's like spiritual or psychological calisthenics. It creates a mood, if you will. If we are in that zone of saying thank you, it puts us in a place of being grateful all the time. A friend of mine, a colleague who I've quoted before, he's a rabbi in Palm Beach. I was listening to a Devar Torah of his, I think it was a week ago or so, and he talked about the idea that being thankful is kind of like a vaccine. He said a vaccine's purpose is to help the body build immunity against a foreign threat. Our body develops a defense mechanism against future viral attacks. And he says saying thank you does the very same thing. When we say thank you for a blessing in our lives, we train our bodies to build up immunity against the bad things. If we say thank you, we don't necessarily notice the tsaros, all of that stuff, the garbage that life may throw at us. When we are thankful for what we have, we aren't so threatened by what we don't have. Reminds me of the story. I saw this on Facebook many times. It's the story of a guy driving an old Plymouth. Do they still make Plymouths?
I don't know. I'm not a car person. I don't know.
Chevrolet Impala. He's driving a Chevrolet Impala. That was my first car, I think. He's driving a Chevrolet Impala, and he pulls up to a light, and he looks next to him, and he sees a guy in this beautiful red Lamborghini, and he says to himself, if only I had that beautiful, amazing, fast, expensive, luxurious Lamborghini, when at the same time, a guy on a bicycle was looking at the Impala and said to himself, gosh, I wish I were that guy. Instead of having to schlep everywhere on this bicycle, if only I had that Chevrolet Impala. It's a car. It would get me around. And at the very same time, there's a guy getting on the bus, and the guy getting on a bus looks at the bicycle and says, oh, if only I could afford a bicycle. It would save me so much time. I could spin around the city. I could get to where I needed to go. It would be so helpful. And as he's getting on the bus, there's a man upstairs in an apartment in a wheelchair looking at the guy getting on the bus and said to himself, oh, if only I could walk. So my friends, this is the moment for which we should be grateful and excited and really appreciate the many blessings in our lives. While the virus vaccine might be a few weeks or months away, the physical, the spiritual, the religious, the emotional vaccine is in our hands, and it's approved by God. It's called Hoda'ah, which means to be thankful. May all of us on this Thanksgiving Shabbat remember what's important, remember to be grateful, remember to be thankful for all of the many blessings in our lives. And I'll conclude with a little prayer today. This Shabbat, we give thanks. We are thankful for the warmth of sunshine and the radiance of moon glow. We are thankful for the beauty of autumn leaves and the twinkle of holiday lights. We are thankful for the support of caring friends and the kindness of gracious strangers. We are thankful for enough nourishing food to eat and a comfortable place to sleep. We are thankful for the wisdom of old experiences and the mastery of new skills. We are thankful for the joy of hearty laughter and the swing of soulful music. Especially in this season of Thanksgiving, of Hoda'ah, we are thankful for the wide, open hearts which share in gladness and receive in appreciation those precious, sacred gifts of abundance, compassion, and love. For all these things and so many more, we are truly thankful and richly blessed. And so it is. Thank you, God. So we'll continue with the song that we opened with. It's called Kosi Rivaya. It's that melody we sang. There aren't any words, but it's called Kosi Rivaya, which literally means my cup overflows. And I was thinking about that metaphor, that our cup overflows, that as we receive blessing, that abundance of blessing overflows, and we're able to share that with others as well. Yes, it's just like a boomerang. Kos Rivaya. Sing with me wherever you are. And now we continue as we sing together number 17, V'ne'emar, as we conclude Aleinu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom ahu yeh Adonai Ushemo, Ushemo Echad, Ushemo Echad. And now we remember the following, whose yortzites are being observed this week. Henabat Reb Shlomo Yosef Siegel, Sheldon Rockmail, Janet Langroth, Florence Crafton, Frank Vogel, Aaron Myers, Joseph Griffinhagen, Sarah Witt, Sadie Munsky Friedman, Morris Perling, Evelyn Stein, and Abraham Golub. And we also remember Dr. Stephen Weintraub, whose Shloshim, whose 30 days, is still being observed. May all their memories be for a blessing as we recite the Mourner's Kaddish, number 18 on page 4. Feel free to join if you are observing yortzeit or if you'd like to join in support. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. We think about Murray Fisher as well. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach leolam leomei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechem mata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say amen. Amen. Arlene, thank you so much for mentioning Murray's name. I have such fond memories, and it was because of Murray that we ended up in Birmingham, that I was the rabbi at Temple Bethel. I'll never forget Murray reaching out, and I remember so many discussions, and thank God that our paths crossed, because it created such beauty and meaning and holiness in our lives. So thank you, Arlene, and may his memory be for a blessing. We now continue with our concluding prayer, Kiddush and Hamotzi. We're on page 5, number 19. Is Bama going to visit with us today? Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri agafen. Amen. Hamotzi. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise, song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Say hello to everybody. How nice of you to come join us. What a sweet dog. You really are obedient, aren't you? Ojavo Shalom. Number 5, page 5, number 20. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom. See you next week. And if you want to study some Torah, bye-bye. If you want to study some Torah tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam, salam. Aleinu li'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. ve'al kulam. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Shabbat
Wishing you all a
shalom.
good week.